Hey guys, Tofi here. I'm a tattoo artist with 20 years of experience. At this moment, I'm running my own tattoo studio called Incognito in Rybnik in Poland. I have developed many of the nice movements around tattooing. Most of them are fresh, forward-thinking ideas that I was able to implement into the tattoo industry. One of them is a tattoo experiment which has like 7 or 8 editions so far. The other is implementing 3D designing into the tattoo world and the whole digital illustration in tattooing. I used to do the first seminars in Europe and in America regarding this designing workflow. I'm a co-founder of the tattoo dedicated cryptocurrency called Tattoo Money. Together with my partners, we are implementing into the tattoo scene brand new payment system that will be worldwide, globally. We've got partners from around the world and we are actually doing this for you guys. In this material, I'm gonna be showing you my techniques of designing and the tips and tricks regarding the tattooing itself. I'm gonna show you many of the hidden features that I'm using in my daily workflow when it comes to tattooing. I'm gonna show you the way I blend big surfaces of colors. I'm gonna show you the way I'm texturing my tattoos. I'm gonna be showing you the way I'm implementing the highlights and the way I'm creating overall image of my tattoos. So the stuff you're gonna watch is something that have never been recorded before. We're gonna dive deep into the details of my secrets. So welcome on board, and I wish you pleasant time watching these materials, and stay tuned because that's just the beginning of the series of the material we are trying to give you to raise up the quality of your works to help you the way I like the most. Thank you very much. Okay guys, right now I'm gonna show you equipment I'm using for my daily tattooing routines. What's the most important is tattoo machine. TattooMe.eu, this pro model of my own zero pen machine, you will be able to order from the website very soon. When it comes to coloring, world famous, that's the only brand I'm using since like 7 years so far. Everybody's asking me about the black I'm using, so the answer is legendary black. It's the best color on earth. I can guarantee you that the coverage of this color and the blackness of this color is more than amazing. After all, monochromatic series I'm using for most of my tattoos, that you can see all of the gray tonations I'm using. Perfect for blending, perfect for covering as well, and perfect for smooth transition from dark to bright tonations. When it comes to white, everybody's asking me about my white. The only white I'm using is a White House, world famous. Is good for mixing the colors and it's good for highlights, as well as used with the big magnums or with the shaders. It doesn't matter. Each one of them works really well. After all, my favorite blues is Nile Reverse Blue, the best in my opinion. Good for cover-ups, good for blending, good for lightening with white, amazing color. The other one, Niagara Blue, I recommend this color, is amazing. When it comes to the transition from dark to bright, you cannot get better one. After all, additional colors, Violet Phoenix and Oleg Cloud Blue. Amazing, you're gonna see the way how smooth I can get the transition from dark to bright tonations on the skin. That was the first part, dark and cold. Other part, more warm colors I'm using is the different variations of the skin tonation. Oleg, medium skin tone, Mars, sand red that you can see, and Scab, the best brown in the whole palette of the world famous inks palette, in my opinion, of course. After all, burnt sienna. Sienna is the base color for painters, so for those of you who are painters, you know that you cannot get the better result. Sicilian Olive, the best olive in the world famous palette. You're gonna see the way I'm able to get the transition from warm to cold colors. You will see how it's gonna work. And after all, gold dust and gold yellow. For those of you who follow me recently, I'm using a lot of gold elements in my tattoos, so those are the colors I'm able to achieve the golden effect. When it comes to needles, I'm using 4 different kinds. When it comes to magnums, all of them are flat. As you can see in here, this example is 23 mag, and in my whole setup I'm using 23, 17, 13 and 9 magnum, and that's it. Flat. I'm not using the curved soft edge needles because it doesn't give me the guarantee that the color is in the skin on equal level. When it comes to round shaders, the 3 of them I'm using is 13, 9 and 7 RS. The same like with the paintings, from big to small brush, that's it. The same with the needles. So stay tuned, right now I'm gonna show you the way I'm getting the stencil on the skin. The most important is the placement of the stencil. So I'm about to adjust and mark with the marker the right placement of our stencil. I can remove that and place the stencil stuff. Okay, the first layer of stencil stuff is about to be applied. I'm using 2 layers of the stencil stuff. First one is the base stencil that I'm letting skin to absorb, and after I'm gonna reapply the new layer of the stencil that's gonna hold the stencil stronger. After drying the first layer of the stencil stuff, I'm reapplying it. That is gonna give us bigger guarantee that the stencil is gonna stay stronger. Check it out. First of all, I'm gonna be doing the blacks. I'm using 6 volts on my machine, and if the skin is gonna be able to get the higher voltage, I'm gonna use it. And I'm using 9 flat Magnum to cover all of the blacks that I see on the reference. So here we go, guys. I'm filling up the blacks, and after I'm gonna be cutting the edges to get it sharp with the 7 round shaders. So let's go. So I see that the skin is super soft straight from the beginning, and I'm able to get the voltage a little bit higher. It's always better to start with the lower voltage because it doesn't cause the damage of the skin. At the beginning, it's just a meeting of the skin, meeting of the customer reaction. So I see on the lower leg, it's easy for me to put the higher voltage. This way I'm able to move with my work a little bit faster than normally. So here we go. As you can see, machine is super strong and elastic. It doesn't cause any high trauma. Looks like it's gonna be super smooth and a nice day of work. As you can see in my workflow, the way I'm starting is that I'm getting rid, sort of, the black areas from the stencil. I'm transferring them on top of the skin, so I don't need to consider that much each steps. The thing is that when all of the black is gonna be done, it means that I don't need to use black anymore. The only thing is that black is gonna be used in the further process of tattooing, is that I'm gonna mix the medium colors and dark colors with black to blend them easily with themselves. We've got the super extraordinary conditions today that I need to work upside down. The thing is that with the realistic tattooing, it's way easier because stuff that you see on the reference have to be just transferred on the skin without interpretation. So working upside down is a daily bread, especially when it comes to the collaborations. As you see in my gallery, there is plenty of the collaboration I'm doing very frequently, and most of the times I'm helping the guys I'm working with to work upside down because that's the way I got used to, and it helps a little bit, especially when somebody works from the opposite point of view. As you can see, I have changed right now the size of the needles from 9 Magnum to 13. The most important part of work is to keep readjusting your tools you're using, because if you want to make the smooth transition with the smaller needle set, it's way harder, and you can see that the transition is not as smooth as it should be. So remember, the same like with the painting, there needs to be the right needle setup chosen for each element of the work. and I'm going back with the 9 mag to fill up the smaller spots again. As you can see, guys, right now I'm cutting the edges off to get the sharpness of the design transferred on the tattoo. And as you can see, I'm focused more on the floor plan of my tattoo, especially that later, if I want to achieve the three-dimensional effect, all of the elements that are in front are cutted more precisely off. As you can see, guys, right now I'm just blocking the general shapes that has left from the stencil to don't lose any of the informations before I'm gonna apply the large area of color with 9 and 13 Magnum. As you can see, the stencil stays strong, and after a while it doesn't disappear, and it still is fresh and visible. So yeah, that's the reason why I use the double layer of the stencil stuff. The way I'm using the dark tonations right now is that whenever I would put the blue first, I would make the blue color dirty after applying the dark brown. So the way that my method works really well is we are applying the dark tonations in front, up in front, to avoid letting the medium and light colors dirty, because it will be visible on the picture and we don't want that. As you can see, I'm applying with the same speed all the time, and the voltage I'm using at this moment is 6.2. The skin doesn't bleed that much, just the first bleeding after the pass is done. After it's super clean and dry, so it gives me more comfort applying another layers of the color. As you can see right now, I'm cutting the dark brown edges as well to make the elements pop up more in front, but only in the main middle area of the whole design. I'm gonna let it loose on the outside, so it's gonna give us bigger illusion of dimension. Okay, so the final stage of the blocking the general shapes in the middle is done. Right now I'm gonna apply small of the gray tonation that's gonna cover the lower part of the tattoo. With the 13 mag, I'm adding the dark gray just to avoid getting dirty. If I would do it in opposite way, after applying the middle tonation in here, the gray would be able to make the blue dirty. So I'm applying the dark gray at the moment to get rid of the dark tonations, and afterwards I will apply the medium and bright tones on top of the face. As you can hear in the background, the customer is snoring, so it sounds like he sleeps, and it proves that the machine, even if it's strong to put the color in that easily, it doesn't cause that much damage to the skin and to the customer, that he's able to sleep during the session. I haven't seen that for ages. As you can see right now, the deep blue face is about to be done. So right now I'm applying the last smaller details, and I'm cutting the edges off with the 9RS needle. So in this way, all of the deep blue informations are gonna be applied at this moment, and we can continue with the brighter tonations on top of that. As you can see, there's many of the areas that is just like wiped, so you can see that on top of that the brighter tonation can be applied, so at the end it's gonna blend together perfectly.
So as you can see right now, to apply the color between the black and the deep blue, I'm mixing both of them in the cups and just trying to blend them all together, so it's gonna give me the effect of the deeper shadow on top of both colors. I'm doing this gently, not that strong, because the skin is already open, so doesn't need to be forced that much. As you can see right now, we are about to start the stage of the middle tonation, that all of the blacks and the dark blues are done, and on top of them I'm mixing gently, super soft, not that strong, the medium color of purple, which is gonna give us more depth and illusion. And especially that on the reference you can see that in the rendering phase, the gray color of the ground surface is like hitting up the object from the bottom, and it's mixed. So it's also a huge part of observation of the right tonations that you are applying, because in most cases what I see, people doesn't pay attention for the small details like that. And even me, years ago, I would fill this area completely with the brighter blue, which wouldn't give us as many effect of the light bouncing from one surface to another. So keep that in mind whenever you're observing your reference, that there's more tonations that we can observe. So right now I would like to remind you that the size of the needle that I'm using is 13 mag. It's flat, and what I'm about to do right now is to mix a little bit blue with gray. That's gonna be giving me also the illusion of connection of those two colors. I'm using this more saturated than it is on the reference, but because I understand my references a lot, it also gives me the freedom of judging that what I want to pop up a little bit more. So right now we are at this stage that the base color of the head of the face is done. The only thing we need more is just the highlights. I'm gonna oversaturate them a little bit to pop up more, to achieve the element of plastic. So all of the empty spaces that are left is gonna stay left at the beginning, and after that everything is gonna be done. At the end, on top, I'm gonna achieve all of this small particular lights. So after the break, I'm gonna add more of the orange and the yellow color to achieve the golden element of the cage in, and after we will go into the background and the biggest flat surfaces. So stay tuned, guys. For those who are not familiar with the subject, the machine I'm using starts from 3 volts, so it means it can be used as well by the dot work artists, which got used to the super low frequencies with the beating of a needle. So that's why it's highly recommended as well. From this perspective I'm talking about, it's quite important to mention that the machine is running the needle with the cartridge and starting with the 3 volts. So it explains a lot the frequencies the machine works with. At this point I'm gonna describe all of the shapes directly in the middle. So with the smaller Magnum I'm gonna add the dimensions of the blocks that are tearing apart. So yeah, basically I'm gonna be focused on the middle of the tattoo, and afterwards with the big mag I'm gonna blend it over with the background. One of the most frequently asked questions is if I'm touching the surface of the skin with the plastic of a cartridge, and the answer is yes. And the reason is that I need to make sure that I'm equally getting into the skin with the color for my entire work with the piece. I need to just make sure that I'm equally in the same depth through all of the process of tattooing. Plus it gives me also relax instead of paying attention that the surface of the cartridge, the surface of the distance of the cartridge comparing to the skin is equal all the time. So we are at one of the final stages of tattooing. The thing I'm gonna work on right now is the gray color with the big flat 25 Magnum. That's gonna wrap around the whole image and is gonna be blended from the background to the existing image around the tattoo. So check it out. I'm still using 6.3 volts and the machine doesn't slow down. It's just as well strong as it used to be before, and it looks like it doesn't matter for the machine the size of the needle. It just doesn't take any difference. We are about to be done soon. Right now I'm finishing up the brightest parts and the highlights. I'm starting with the 9 mag. That is gonna give me the basic light, and after I'm just gonna sharpen up all of the edges with the 9RS needle. That is gonna describe the biggest and the most important highlights, and we're done. Thank you for watching, guys. That was amazing time I was able to share with you with my knowledge. More things to come. Stay tuned. We're gonna show and reveal more of our secrets soon regarding the techniques of designing, of tattooing. So stay strong, get yourself motivated, and hopefully see us soon on the upcoming conventions, on the upcoming seminars all around Europe, maybe States soon. So take care, guys, and thank you for watching.